And we are live.
So a couple of things I want to mention before we start. Guys, this is going to be approximately 30-minute session plus Q&A, could take another 10, 15 minutes max. And yeah, so we just want everyone to really strap in, make sure you're comfortable. You know, these digital conferences or these digital webinars, let's say, we can get a bit really comfortable and zone out or get distractions. So make sure wherever you are, and if you're with your family or whoever maybe in your surroundings, make sure that you are zoning in into this webinar for the next 30 minutes, not much of your time, so you can soak in as much of the content as possible. We're going to provide a lot of value in terms of how to craft captivating carousel posts with ease. We have a wealth of experience here. I mean, we've been doing this for years. On Glorify's Instagram alone, we accumulated 10,000 followers over a period of time. My personal brand has accumulated 56,000, followers over the space of a year. And we've seen some people in our network being able to achieve similar results. And it's all about applying the theories that you learn from this webinar. So strap in, let's go straight ahead. So first things first, we're gonna go through a quick agenda breakdown. Carousel designs post overview, that's the introduction. We'll then focus on the Instagram carousels, the best practices there, and a few examples. I'll then also dive into LinkedIn carousels and what people and experts are doing there to get the maximum results. I'll then dive into how you guys can also take part in this amazing opportunity with Glorify's template marketplace to design and sell template carousels on our marketplace. And even if you list templates for free on our marketplace, you can still generate a commission from actual account sales on Glorify. So we'll talk about it in a moment, but there's benefits for everyone within the template marketplace, and there's huge revenue opportunities there for passive income. And then we'll finish off with a question and answer, open book, full transparency. All of your questions won't go unnoticed, where we want to hear everything you need to ask, and we'll answer it to our best ability. And with that said, we'll go straight into the agenda. So introduction, carousel design post overview. Number one, why do people create carousels? What are the two platforms? First of all, we've said in this webinar, the main platforms are Instagram and LinkedIn. This is where carousels exist. Facebook recently stopped their carousel posts for whatever reason, but the focus is definitely on Instagram and LinkedIn. But what's really interesting about carousels is the format of the content itself. It's like a slideshow, right? If you guys have seen it, you're swiping through a slideshow of information. And we'll go into how to actually craft a compelling, story-driven carousel that will captivate and engage audiences in a moment. But you have to appreciate or understand the value of storytelling in this format. First of all, understanding that as a business owner, as maybe you have a personal brand, or you're running a service, or you're an expert, you're a coach, whatever it may be, teaching is the number one way to grow an audience. Giving value for free, you need to give that sincerely and openly versus trying to demand attention. You don't have to demand or try to command attention necessarily through sort of like spammy ways of creating content. You can actually be more genuine and give value and teach people your expertise, and being honest and approachable in terms of what you're teaching. And once you dish out your information unapologetically with the intent of just genuinely helping people out there, then the natural sort of like byproduct of that would be more attention in your business and your expertise, and you'll attract the right customers eventually. So we all know content is king, and that's where Carousel is really powerful in terms of a teaching tool on social media, because it helps you break down very complex information and put that into very interactive, engaging, story-driven format. So what would usually feel a little bit boring and not as entertaining, you would, as perhaps reading a very technical document on a specific strategy, or reading a book even. A lot of people struggle reading books. A lot of authors, in fact, break down some of their value bites within their book into carousels, and there's a few examples to make note of. For example, Michael Janda, he's a designer. He creates great posts on Instagram. He's one of the leading creators that found a surge of growth through carousels alone. And one of his techniques was taking his own book, which he sold on Amazon. He was a top seller. He actually dished out specific valuable information from his book in the format of carousels, And that actually led to more sales in his book because he's already giving value from his book itself. And people just always crave more because what you get from a carousel is compelling. It teaches you something that's potentially valuable and actionable, but it also makes you crave and drive or sort of yearn for more. And that's where you can convert a potential engaged audience or viewer to an actual customer that is interested in your services, in your book, or in your content, or your paid channels, essentially. So that's a quick overview of carousels. Now, I'm going to quickly cover Instagram carousels and the difference between Instagram and LinkedIn. Starting with Instagram carousels, wider audience, right? Huge. We all know Instagram has been there for a long time. And carousels, I think, started getting, I can't remember exactly when they first made an appearance, somewhere around 2018, 19, I believe. And people started using them as clever ways to storytell. What's really interesting about carousels was that Instagram themselves didn't intend carousels for it to be a format of content. They actually thought of carousels as a way to just, Instagram being a photo app, right? To share personal moments in your life. And they thought carousels would be great to collect a series of related moments into one post. But that naturally transitioned into people finding clever ways to generate content out of that. So it really started with Instagram. And you can see that, you probably have noticed this, that Instagram specifically is great when it comes to creating content and building a personal brand. It's brilliant for that because you have access to a wider audience. You can be more unapologetic. You can be more informal. You can dish out carousels along with videos and all sorts of different formats to engage your audience. So it's very dynamic in the type of content you can put out there and engage your viewers. And also it has that element of a personal touch. The expectation doesn't need you to be almost like subdued into this professional kind of conduct versus like with LinkedIn, let's say, right? And so that's the value of Instagram carousels. Here are some top level information that I'm sure some of you guys already know, but the typical sizes, 1080 by 1080. You've got this portrait size, which is slightly taller, which is 1,350 pixels in height. And then you can also do carousels with Instagram stories, which Nico will be covering later on. And yeah, so we'll move into LinkedIn carousels. LinkedIn carousels, mainly for a professional audience. It's a brilliant platform for networking and showcasing your expertise to potential customers, investors, or hires, right? That's typically what it's for. It was built for networking. And of course, there's a lot of business growth through networking alone, right? You can network with your potential customers and buyers, your potential clients, and that's, of course, a huge channel for that. I know a lot of agencies and freelancers use that as their number one channel. And so content, no doubt, is a no-brainer within LinkedIn, especially since they launched carousels some time back. And carousels have been a growing format, I've noticed personally on LinkedIn, where experts and professionals in their field are sharing stories or sharing their expertise broken down into, again, bite-sized information that's consumable for their target audience to gain value out of it and apply them and see them ultimately as the expert. And that's what's powerful about this format. Again, LinkedIn's carousel is a bit different from Instagram. You need a PDF format and it's a portrait size. You don't use a square size. It's 1080 by 1350 on height, and you've got a landscape size as well. I mostly see the portrait size, which is typical, and it's a great format for layouts. So I find it to be more easier to use, especially the fact that the portrait versions are much more mobile friendly versus the landscape versions. The landscape versions are more like a presentation. It's 16 by 9 ratio. Is it 9 by 6? Yeah, 16 by 9 ratio, which makes it landscape. So that is it. I'm going to quickly go through some examples because everyone needs to see some compelling examples, no doubt, right? So starting with Instagram, Chris Do, he's one of the pioneers in Instagram carousel design. Like very early on, he got in very, very early. He's a business coach and brand design expert, and a lot of you guys may know, maybe familiar with Chris Do. He's got a huge community in this space. In fact, he has a course on actually designing carousels, which is really, really cool. And yeah, you can always see his carousels always starts with a huge, compelling message. Really important to grab attention with the first slide. And he's always making sure that people recognize his post for his own. So, of course, there's the profile picture and there's elements, but hands down, you do need to also include your own brand elements within the space, and not the central focus, but just so that people are aware that this is from you, your company, your brand. And he does this very clean layout, as you can see. Big fat title, and he goes straight into the content. Very compelling, very draws you in, makes you curious. Stop limiting yourself. It's an open-ended question. What do you mean limit myself? How? What context do you mean limit myself? You want to click more. So you don't give all the information away on that first slide. You just have a compelling title that draws you in, that makes you curious. And then you click again. And then it goes into the content. Many people never believe they can achieve more than a certain level due to their fixed mindsets. Let me tell you a story. Goes into storytelling. And then the narrative catches on. By the way, we'll drop these examples post-webinar so you can access them within the description. So not to worry. I'm going to skim through this because we want to get through this content really fast. But this is how, look at the dynamism of the content format itself from slide to slide. It starts with just text, body type text, and then varying in different sizes. And then he kind of illustrates certain concepts. They start to jump, hit their heads. So this kind of narrative, again, storytelling, right? So you're picturing this person jumping and hitting their heads multiple times. And that's what's powerful, again, with Carousel. You can do so much with just text and words by painting a specific picture, a very lucid picture, in fact, in their mind, right? So that's the power of this. You can now remove the lid. And so this is about the concept of the fleas that are in a jar. Once they keep hitting their heads, eventually they think they're confined to that space. So it's a whole mindset kind of storytelling that he's talking about in terms of how fleas, once they believe that they can't jump further, they won't. And so now he's got the context. Has a picture of a flea jar with all the fleas inside for them to get to the aha moment. So the curiosity, big title, information, storytelling, and then unravels the story so that the plot is uncovered and we get the point. It's like, I get it, right? So the fleas can't go any further. And then finally, you can see again big statements, just kind of going to that conclusion. And each slide is different, so it's keeping me engaged. Big text, small text, picture, and then finally it goes into the conclusion. So lots of slides, and then the final part is always somewhat related. You can always use it as an opportunity for a call to action, and you can do this 50% of the time, 20% of the time, or in your early stages, even all of your carousels could potentially have this. There's no hard and fast rule here, but no doubt the last slide gives you an opportunity to introduce yourself, to make sure that people don't leave without remembering who you are, right? Whether that's a call to action or just introducing yourself, that's up to you. Here's Michael Jander's post. Cool thing about Instagram, again, is that you can actually add video in the post as well, which is powerful, right? You can have different types of formats, and Glorify allows you to design posts with video backgrounds as well. You can do exactly this in Glorify by putting a video background and exporting it. And it just makes it more engaging. This is the first slide. So imagine you were scrolling and you found this, you'd be really engaged. And look at this video again. Look at these little GIFs and graphics. Now, GIFs and animated graphics and stickers are still on the way, but you can do this in Glorify, right? And we've got arrows and all these kind of icons to make this type of content. But again, concept, right? Big fat title draws you in, curious, got no work. This is why. Why? I want to know why. Why? I might be that category that doesn't have work. I want to know why. And it makes you compelled to click next. 3 months ago, you made a mistake. What is that mistake? Okay, I made this mistake and now I'm here. What is that mistake? I want to know. So do you see how he's drawing you in? And what's clever about this is the more clicks you get users to take on your carousel, the more algorithm hits you get on Instagram. Instagram's going to recognize that you've done your job as a content creator. You've created carousels that are engaging, that gets people to click beyond a certain amount of slides. There's always drop off in carousels on any content in social media. people start engage and they eventually, majority will drop off, and that's natural. But the point is to get them at least through the first few slides. That way you know that there'll be a few that will definitely make it to the end. So again, curiosity, breakdown of content, comedy. Look, you can see the GIFs here. It's entertaining whilst being educational. It's also fun to watch. It's relatable. We know these celebrities, for instance, right? And then finally, he goes into his conclusion, and then he goes into strategy, and then he introduces himself. And he talks about, actually, he goes quite heavy on this post because he gives a piece of content, but then he's hard selling his actual creative business and his different courses that he offers, right? So really interesting strategy. And he's one of the most successful in carousel design. One of the few that's still utilizing carousels actively, because now Instagram is favoring a lot of video content as well. So carousels and video are in competition with each other, but carousels are still relevant. And I'll show you why, because there's this content creator called Tom Noske, one of my social friend, you can say, of mine, as well as a co-content creator that I'm connected with. And what's really amazing about Tom is that he grew really fast to 349,000 followers. Primarily, his content format has been video all this time. But even when you get to video and you're posting a lot of video, eventually you notice that, you know what, I need to also diversify my content with carousels, because carousels breaks up that static format of just always have to interact with a face and me speaking. And now you can start to look at information broken down, so you can take your time, not have to listen in. But there's an approachable way, I guess, when it comes to actually consuming content in a written format with big, compelling titles that's beautifully designed like this. And you can see, and he's actually mentioned this in his content, that he's been having success with carousels, right? So it's not something that should be ignored. Every so often, you will find there'll be a carousel that he will post, and he does take breaks from carousels, but there's one here, boom. So he's breaking up his content with carousels. Now, big title, again, same beautiful textures, beautiful typography. You're going to learn this from Nico, not me. But again, you can see storytelling and comparing. Basically, he's teaching them why one coach will win over the other. One coach that is focused on a niche versus another coach that actually embodies their personal brand a bit more, right? So there's a lot of the aspects of that. Now let's go through the rest. Yeah, so this is my carousel post. I'm an influencer as well. I have 5,000, close to 56,000 followers on Instagram. I've been doing carousel posts recently because it's a valuable type piece of content that people I collaborate with like, especially ASRock and a few others who are gaming companies. They wanted carousel posts, and I did that for them, and they've achieved decent results. Because the good thing about carousels, a lot of people save them as well, because it's easy to consume, it's easy to read, and especially if it's photo driven, as in you can even, doesn't necessarily have to be written content, but you can use carousels in a way to frame a specific image that paints 1,000 words, or it's promoting a specific product. If you guys are selling physical product, great opportunity again to use carousels and portray the product in a compelling way. Give it a description, give it compelling caption, and as they scroll through, you can see there's more pictures of this specific product that I was building, which is for ASRock's motherboard and PC units. Same thing for ASRock's screens. We have over here, you can see, I did a post on ASRock's curved display. And again, 3 posts. It's got a lot of engagement from some top influencers. And I think in total, I can't remember the exact engagement. If I have it over here, we had 56 likes. If I go to view insights, we can see a bit more. So 2,000 people reached this carousel post. That's a big number of people. 1,131 of those people were non-followers, guys. So look at the power of carousels, right? I want to just be mindful of my time. Okay, I'm going to try to wrap up really quickly. Another example is this one. So you can see minimal graphics, breaking down complex thoughts into diagrams. This account, Go Limitless, grew to, I can't remember what they're on right now. I think it's something crazy, like 556,000 followers. I started following them when they had something like a mere 300 followers. This wasn't, I think, probably under a year ago. if I'm not mistaken. I remember when they had hardly any followers, and this guy's just been always consistent, doing single image posts and carousel posts as well. So you can do both. I want to pick one of the carousel posts. Like, look at this, broken down complex information, how you can speak confidently, diagrams that just make sense. It clicks. You read, you watch, you acknowledge the visuals, and you get it, right? And through these diagrams, he's breaking down complex thoughts and concepts. So there you go, right? So another way of communicating. Now let's talk about LinkedIn. And I'm going to spend another 5 minutes on this. I'm going to move on because we are slightly over time. So with LinkedIn, you can see we've got things like, I mean, it's the same format and sometimes adopting the same style even. But oftentimes with LinkedIn, you'll notice that the creator is putting a picture of themselves. They want to associate themselves because it's a networking platform. So people want the opportunity to showcase who they are and what's their company about, CEO of Contact Studio. So that's something that's important to them. The second thing is it's more about focus on expertise, right? So he's an expert in building 7-figure sales channels with SEO content. It would be likely that he, as seen in this content, that he'll be speaking about his expertise, in this case, SEO. And so that's what LinkedIn is a great platform for. It's a combination of networking and sharing your expertise, and you can share your expertise really well with LinkedIn carousels. In fact, LinkedIn carousels is growing, I think, daily. I can't remember the exact stat on that, but a lot of people are both delivering content with LinkedIn carousels in that format, as well as millions of people consuming that content on LinkedIn in the same way. So it's incredible, right? So like, it's a huge opportunity. You can see over here, again, same process, broken down information as bite-sized as possible, easy to consume. He's talking about how SEO versus the old SEO. So this is the old SEO, you stuff keywords, versus the new one, you write content that's actually helpful. And notice how in this content, he has the same format so that you don't get lost. You know what to expect next. And so you're going through all this part and you know the format is, okay, old SEO and new SEO. It's an easy way to consume the education. You know what you're going to be learning on each slide, and you're building that muscle memory around this kind of content. So you're like, okay, these are the value points in terms of all the SEO. This is how it's done today, and getting that context. And you can see as you go through this, you know what to expect. And again, final slide, no doubt. On LinkedIn, you want to present who you are, what you do, because it is a networking platform. You want them to connect with you. And the expectation is that either they click this book an appointment call to action right here, or they're going to go to his profile and message him or connect with him, etc. Right? That's it for now, guys. Actually, wait, I'll touch on these two. Sometimes people also post LinkedIn carousels from their Twitter. Not from their Twitter, as in they take a snapshot of their tweets and make that the main slide of their post. It's attention grabbing because it's familiar. People know what a tweet looks like. This is what a tweet looks like. And what's interesting about this is not necessarily the text, because there's a lot of text to read, but look at the engagement on here. You're seeing 676 likes, 127 retweets. Retweets are not easy unless something you said is popular on Twitter or X, sorry. But again, you see, look at the content. After that, he's just continuing in that format of Twitter. And he's essentially converted his whole tweet into a LinkedIn post. Same with Azhar Ali, is a marketer, did the same thing. He actually started with a tweet and then broken down that tweet information into very simple, look how simple that content is. And look at the engagement on this content, 127. Beautiful thing about LinkedIn, you don't have to be a design wizard. You don't have to design things meticulously with beautiful graphics like Instagram. Instagram rewards you for beautiful visuals. LinkedIn rewards you for the quality of the content more than the visuals. Remember that, because you're talking to professionals. And he's talking about something very compelling, which is how he was able to make $30,000 per year in affiliate commissions. And this is his playbook. So really, really compelling narratives, great storytelling, all the points organized really well, with checklists, with URLs, with relevant resources, as well as diagrams and screenshots. So, it works, right? This is one of my favorites. I know I wanted to skip this, but I really want to go through this one. Let's create 10 brands in 10 minutes with AI. This was really awesome. So Jonathan Parsons, he showed how his process on how he created as a designer, created 10 brands in 10 minutes using AI. And these are the brands he created. So he asked ChatGPT specific brands to invent in the gap in the market, and then he used DALL-E to bring those images to life, right? And these are the results. So jingle jars, really cool, right? Pixel pasta, fun as hell. This is amazing. I love this. Fable folds, glow guzzle, bounce beacon, and he's got like a whole tagline on what the brand is about below. And it's just really exciting because you can see, okay, people want to be educated on AI and the potential of AI, and this is it. You can see you can actually craft brands with AI, and this is a designer. And I think his point here is that there's a framework to branding, and I think it also takes good taste as well, because he would have generated different variations, and he picked the right variations for this post for sure. But it showcases his mindset as a brand director, right? And what he can do with AI. I don't think anyone else can, not many people can leverage AI the way he has leveraged it to both combine images, visuals, and smart branding, right, with the product category, right? And it takes talent to do that, and he's showcasing that with what he's been able to do with AI. So yeah, no, it's great. So this is the content, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. One more piece before we pass it over to Nico, because we're going to do a exciting question and answer session where, as your Q&A is dropping in the comment section, Nico's also going to be showing his expertise and a simple design process on how you can get started on Glorify to design compelling carousels. But for those of you guys who has a design flair, or perhaps not so much necessarily a design flair, but an entrepreneurial flair, and maybe it has designers that work with you, you need to get in on this opportunity. It's our Glorify template marketplace. The benefits of template creators selling templates in our marketplace is, number one, you get 100% of the revenue. You get traffic for free. We get 70,000 hits on our website every single month. And that's free traffic for you guys. On top of that, we will market your templates for you on our social media, on our newsletter, and on Pinterest, and all our different channels. And even if you list free templates, which I recommend you do, because people are getting better results with the free templates simply because people discover their free templates on Google through the keywords. And then once they discover it, they click on the templates, they download it, and your affiliate ID will be associated to the template, resulting in a commission for those people that buy Glorify, right? And essentially, on top of that, you own all those leads, because as someone downloads one of your templates from Glorify's site, you get their email as well through our system. And the submission process is simple. You follow the template requirements, you create your purchase download link, which we teach you how to do, and then you submit your template. The URL is www.glorify.com/submit-template. In fact, I'm going to go there very quickly to show you what the template marketplace looks like. You go here, head over to templates, template marketplace, free template. Look at this beautiful carousel template, by the way, that Hassan created. With beautiful thumbnails. And as you open this file, it'll open up into this amazing template, right? Now, I'm just going to show you the process of how that works. We set up Lemon Squeezy as the downloadable platform, the platform used to download it. We're agnostic, but we do recommend that you do use Lemon Squeezy because it's just really efficient. And just from there, you click Access, and it will take you to Glorify, where you can preview the templates. And notice how his affiliate ID is right there. That beautiful ID right there means that if I was to continue moving through the funnel, download this template, using it, and then eventually buy Glorify, you get the commission. It's simple as that. And we recently have been seeing growth in Glorify's subscription revenue just because we recently switched to a free trial model, and it's been really working out really well for us. And we want you guys to get in on the opportunity, right? So I'm going to save this template. While I'm doing that, I also want to quickly show you to get the apply page. Simply scroll down, and you will come across Learn More, the section over here. Here's the template creator privileges. You get full template revenue. You earn from affiliate commissions, as well as you don't have any limitations. There's examples of approved templates, the design guidelines that you must follow, how to submit your template, how to name your template. We give you a nice naming format that you can tell ChatGPT to give you help, and it'll actually generate the name for you if you wish. And then we tell you how to create your purchase link using Lemon Squeezy, which is free for you to create. Lemon Squeezy is an amazing platform for you to sell your digital products for free, and it also does your email marketing for you. So it does your abandoned cart flows for you. excuse me. And then finally, you can submit your template via the form right here. And I teach you the process of that. It's a very streamlined process. And once you're done, we'll get it in Slack and we'll publish it for you. We've been having a few submissions. We're going through them one by one, but there's still a lot of opportunity there. We want to see more submissions for sure. Yeah, so that's the template. Look at this beautiful template that I just downloaded from the template marketplace. Is for free. Hassan gets the commission because he designed it, and I can go ahead and customize it to my needs, right? And it's really simple. Now, to bring Nico back on board. Hi, Nico.
Hello.
Yeah, we can see you. How's it going?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Oh,
I'll add it to stage.
can you guys see my screen? Okay.
Now I can see it.
Okay, so perfect, guys. So as Omar was saying before, so here are some sizes for Instagram. So the square, the portrait, or the story, and some LinkedIn size as well. This is the portrait that Omar was talking about. And basically, it's super easy to create like a carousel in using Glorify. But the thing is, there are two different ways how you can create these carousel. One is basically using multiple posts. So it means like that you create multiple.
Sorry, guys. I think we just had an issue with Nico's connection. Let me just check up with him. Everything okay? It just seems like he has his connection went a bit down. I don't know why. We've done some checks earlier today and there was nothing wrong with it. So let's have a look where he's at. Nico's tuning in from Italy at the moment. So he recently moved to his new home, his new abode. So there might be an issue. So let's wait for him patiently. Sorry about that, guys. Give me a moment. While Nico's tuning back in, guys, if you can start dropping in your questions, because we'd love to hear, your questions in terms of carousel posts so far. We'd love to know more. Let me try and answer some of the questions as they're coming in until Nico sorts his end out. Okay, let's go and check some of the questions. Yes, a lot of people asking about the webinar being recorded. Yes, the webinar will be recorded. I agree because we need to show how to. I'm not familiar with Brizy web stories, Mohammed. Maybe you can tell me more about that. Great. Anything specific you'd like to learn? Need to drop out. That's fine. Okay, let's look at this question over here. Can we use a spreadsheet for bulk carousel? That's something I can't find for any major platform competing with Glorify, not even Canva. Secondly, what's best range for pricing on Marketplace? So for Marketplace, we generally believe that $9 around that amount is better for Marketplace designs. But you can also pitch, in the range, I would say between $2.99 to $5 is good passive income, because $2.99 is compelling price. You get more volume for that price, and you can make annual income. Think of the long connection. Think of the long haul. And if it's a really valuable template pack with lots of assets, maybe you can, and it's very unique and it's very like niche oriented, especially because I think the templates that perform back for purchase needs to be niche oriented. Okay, Nico's back. I'm going to add him to stage. But the template that performs well in terms of direct purchase is niche oriented. But hands down, I think the best way to make revenue in Glorify, and which you will not be disappointed with, is by listing free templates on our marketplace, because with free templates, you will definitely generate affiliate commissions if they're really compelling, especially if they're great templates. People will click on those templates. I can guarantee that. And we're already seeing people get success. So people say, okay, if it died for everyone else, Nico's back, guys. Nico, you can go ahead. I'll add your screen to share.
Okay.
That's your screen, Nico.
Basically, there are two ways you can create a carousel using Glorify. So one is that basically you create multiple posts, and then what you do is you want it basically to have this kind of nice combination between, for example, post 1 and post 2. So this kind of effect, right? So people are much more willing to see, post number 2. How can you do that with multiple posts? So basically, you have like 2 posts here. You have like an element. Let's say this would be like on post number 4 and post number 5, but in the center. So what you do is you click on the element, you bring it inside this post, right? And you basically, what you do is copy and paste on post 5. Now this is loading. Sorry guys, my connection is not that great, but you get the idea. So using the arrows, you can have this kind of effect. Or you can do the same using an element like this one, this dollar symbol. Go for post number 2. Take this element, bring it to Omar, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
I need you to be there. Yeah, because okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
in, man.
it's
No
here.
worries. We can hear you. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
comment
no, because
every so
I was speaking for 5 minutes alone. Okay, so you
It happens to
copy
the best of us.
you copy and paste.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you have this element and you bring it here.
Fantastic.
On post number 2. Okay. So once you are done, let's do like this. You select your images.
Yep.
And you go to selection. You can see here 6 canvases selected, and you download your images. And once it's done, you can bring it to your Instagram account. Another way you can do like a carousel using a post is basically you start from here. So you create a canvas right here, and then you change the size here. So we said 80. Okay, this is your standard size, right? The square.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change the color. And I want, for example, like a 6 post carousel. So what you do is basically you multiply 180 by 6, and you have this number. So basically, this is the length of your carousel. So you copy this number and you bring it here, right?
Yeah.
So now I want to basically create some rules, some guides, in order to know exactly where is like post number 1, post number 2, and post number 6. So I create a square, and here I insert the original size, right? 180, 180. I know that this could be a bit complex for some of you, but actually it's quite straightforward. So here, this is going to be like post number 1, right? So I go here and copy and paste it. This is going to be like post number 2. I'm going to change the transparency so you guys can see it better. Number 1.
Makes sense. I was going to say one comment, which is the logic is really simple. 1080p, and like Nico said, multiply 1080p by 6 or 7 or how many posts you want. And then the square that you create, just go on the carousel, go on the square, the edit panel, go to position size and make it 1080 by 1080p, and that's your guide, and you duplicate that like Nico's doing. It makes a lot of sense. What you're doing is great, Nico. Thanks.
So
is that the ruler
you're
now using?
Yes. So if you want to activate the ruler here, you go here, guide, ruler. Then if you want like a single guide, you click here on the ruler, you bring it to the canvas here. So what I'm doing is basically I'm kind of putting some guides inside this long canvas.
Yeah. By the way, the ruler, if you drag the ruler, I think it snaps as well at different positions. So it's easy to set it where you want. So the ruler, the guides, you can put it inside the canvas. And once it's inside the canvas, it stays inside the canvas until you switch off the ruler. And the shortcut is simple. I think it's Shift R. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. So I'm going to do it this really fast. So just bring some elements from the single post carousel. I'm going to change some colors just to show you how you can do it really quickly. So copy, paste, copy, paste. I'm going to put some elements here, especially here between posts, so you can see the cut later. So here I don't need two different images, I just need one. Yeah. Let's put this image here. And this one. Yeah.
So it's one long design. I'm really curious. I'm sure everyone's going to be very curious on how we split it.
Let's put this as a CTA. That's it. So I download this as a single image. As Omar said, the best format is basically PNG. Okay, it's downloading. And there are, you can go to this website that is called My Social Boutique. And this is basically a website that cuts your carousel into different parts, but you can also create an Instagram grid. So you go here, upload an image, you select the image you created. It is basically this. Open. And then here you said, okay, I don't want a grid, I want a carousel. And we said that the carousel was composed by 6 different posts. So you click 6 and you split the image. And what this website does is basically it cuts your carousel into 6 different posts. So this maybe can help you creating your design in an easiest way.
Yeah.
But I mean, probably I will recommend this approach. Why? Because I can easily resize this carousel for other platforms. So for example, I want this for Instagram. Yes, perfect. I export it as a PNG. I want this for LinkedIn. Perfect. And just copy and paste this canvas. Bring this canvas here. We said that the most common one is like the portrait mode. So we said 180 by 1350. So I go here. I change this. Okay, this is the correct size. Obviously, you need to rearrange a little bit the design because it's longer. Something like that could work. And once you are done, you go to export, but this time you don't export it as a PNG, you export it as PDF. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, another thing I would like to show you really quick is basically, okay, let's say that you are not a designer, so you don't know exactly what kind of style you want. One thing you can do, you can go to the libraries, to the template, And if you click Instagram, you will see some templates we made, and you can take this as an inspo. You can simply, drag and drop inside your project, like I did here. And use this as a main style, main reference for your carousel. So the size is correct. I duplicate this. I don't want her, but I can use this typography, right?
Yeah. That's what template's all about. Like you can always, it's always a starting point, not necessarily in a finishing point. So it's get started quickly with a template, customize it to your own needs, add your own stuff, and you'll get there. While you're doing that, Nico, I'm just gonna answer some questions as well. That's okay. So we got some questions. I think we already answered this whole spreadsheet for bulk question by Lloyd. We don't have spreadsheet bulk creation, but we do have batch editing, if that's interesting for you, Lloyd. If you batch select all the designs at once, you can edit all the text and all the call to actions and all the logos and everything out all at once. And I can show you that perhaps a bit later if you stick around. And if I go down, I've got, is Carousel good in Facebook ads? You don't have carousels and ads on Facebook anymore. They don't allow it, but I'm not sure if they're doing carousel ads for Instagram either. I'm not sure. We're not running carousel ads on Instagram, but Instagram and LinkedIn both allow carousel posts. Again, apologies, I'm not sure whether or not you can run LinkedIn carousel ads. That's a good question. I'm going to try to mark this up for the next time and keep that as something we can keep in mind for another piece of content. Great question there. So yeah, what do you suggest for, so Karima says, what do you suggest for IG carousel and place this as a company brand? I think you gave only personal brands as an example. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. For IG carousels, what I was saying is that they are company brands, no doubt, on Instagram. Everyone knows this. There's like thousands and thousands of companies, right? The thing is that recently, there seems to be a kind of like discussion online saying that Instagram is definitely, very, like from what you can observe, is favoring personal brands more than anything. Personal brands seem to get the biggest traction, the fastest traction. When there's a face on it, it just seems like more relatable, I guess. So, we've been marketing Glorify for years, and we've been able to generate, I think, 10,000 followers now. We've crossed recently. We crossed that a while ago, to be fair, and then we haven't been growing that fast since then because we haven't been focusing enough attention on it. But on the other hand, my personal brand went through the roof in just something like 6 months. It took me to grow it to where it was now. Like, it was really fast. I mean, I started doing it a year ago, but my real growth happened in the last 6 months. So it's something to keep in mind that personal brands just performs better on Instagram, in my opinion. Instagram's algorithm, we're slaves to the algorithm on Instagram, so we don't know. No one can say for certain that, okay, Instagram is favoring personal brands. You can just see it. And what you observe may have a lot of truth in it, so you could take it with a pinch of salt. But perhaps very soon you're going to see a surge of businesses again start to grow and post more content. That could be the case. And it all depends on how Instagram, kind of moves forward. Nico, what you're doing there is amazing. You're recoloring the entire template with just a few clicks, as Nico can see.
Yeah.
See, guys, process.
So basically, it's super easy. You just select your canvases. Here, you go on libraries, if you don't know that, and we have like a different color palette, and you simply click and pick the colors that you like,
And look how harmonious these colors are, right? You add them and there's instant harmony. Like, how powerful is that? Nico, you'll have to, if you can, zoom in to the content to just see the recoloring. Would be really nice to go really close into it. and just see that experience. Imagine now, guys, adding your own brand colors. You can do the same with your brand colors, by the way. Add your brand colors and remix them in this way. Incredible, right? Okay, so there's another interesting question. How much are people on average making from the marketplace listing? At this point, I'm going to be very transparent. We're not having, millionaires coming from the template marketplace just yet. We hope to get there. At this stage, it's mainly affiliate commissions. Where the point is this is of course no doubt new. Our commitment in the marketplace is for you guys, and of course it's a mutual kind of like it's a mutual endeavor, right? Like the company gets growth and you guys get growth in relation to that, both, and so that's what's exciting about this opportunity. If you look at a lot of marketplaces, that's how they started. They have initial user base, fan base, and from there they start getting trajectory and they move forward really fast. And we've seen recently a lot of companies take traction with their, if they have a marketplace play within their community. And so I have a lot of confidence that it's gonna, right now it's already picking up. People are publishing templates. People have generated revenue. And I can't say it's in the thousands yet because it's so recent. We only launched it like 2 months ago. But I'm very confident in next year, this time, we're going to be having case studies of people that have made thousands with Glorify Marketplace. I'm very confident in that. This year, hopefully you'll be around, Jason Pringle, that time this year on another webinar where we'll kind of have a quick chat, or we can have an indirect chat, and yeah, you'll be asking me the same question. I'll have way better news and exciting news. But yeah, right now the opportunity is super exciting. Yeah, hope that answers the question. Okay, so Lloyd, I think I answered your question about the bulk creation, right? So I'll show you what you can do in terms of bulk creation. We have batch editing, but you can't create at bulk at this stage. Yeah, so the split carousel, this was something Tori asked if we can do split carousel inside Glorify. We don't at the moment. You know what? Put it on the roadmap. We're back on the roadmap, active on it. And if it gets enough upvotes, we'll build it. We just need to see that people really want it. Great. Okay, so look, guys, quick share screen. I'm going to show you batch editing and we'll end it there. There we go. All right, can you guys see my screen? So this is batch editing. If I select all these templates, right? I zoom in. Look at that. All these templates are there. I'm going to now edit them all at once. And let's say we want to edit actually all these text layers are separate. So they're all individual. So there's, we can edit the text directly on here or on, it doesn't really matter, because what I was hoping is that there would be one text that was consistent across all these designs. Oh, we can still do it actually. Wait, let's do this. Let's change the picture of the guy on these images, right? So you have a coach on here for this carousel. I'm going to replace it with my picture. Let's find a good picture. I've got a lot of funny ones as well. I've been doing a lot of YouTube content. Let's pick, you know what, let's put this one with my sunglasses on. The badass sunglasses. Boom, there I am, right? And I'm on multiple images, not just one. All of them have been replaced. So that's batch editing. You select a bunch of canvases, you can edit all of them at once. And now I can select that, and we can also, edit them as well. So the color of this. So if I take, for example, the color would be here. So we can replace the colors on this as well. As an example, I'm butchering this design, by the way, but just showing you how the batch editing would work. You can change the text as well. Oop, this illustration has just kind of glitched out a bit. Let me just delete that. I think it's just got lots of layers. Oh man, my whole design is going a bit crazy. Let me just refresh. There we go. Something happened there that was strange. I think the design element has a lot of layers. Let me just delete that. Okay, we're back. So yeah, so that's how batch editing works. I think it works also really well with product images as well. So with product images, you have the same product, so you can replace all the product at once. Let me just change the title over here. 6 essential marketing tips, 6 essential marketing tips, both, right? The same. I can actually change it all here at once. Let's change the title to Amazing Carousel Post Ideas for Your Business. And now that it's a bit too large, we can actually go to the scale and scale it all at once at the same time as well, as you can see. And I can use the arrow keys to move it all up at the same time. So that's batch editing. Great. So look, that there's a really fast workflow there. You can also do it. What's interesting about this carousel template is that these are the same slides for different sizes. There's the Instagram size and there's the LinkedIn size. So if you want to change both the slides at the same time for each, like slide 2 on both sizes and slide 3 on both sizes, this is a great approach to do that. So like understanding your audience inside out. We can do it on both designs. Create build your own audience using carousels. So you can see both are being edited at the same time. Yeah, so that's batch editing. Guys, that's all we have time for today. If there's more questions, drop it in. We will have a couple of more minutes where it's already really over time. But if that's it, we can conclude. Fantastic, guys. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you enjoyed this session. The replay will be out soon, so stay tuned for that. Check out this template, this amazing template by Hassan. It's available. Nico's design that he processed file that we showed you earlier, I believe Nico will make that available. In fact, what we'll do is when the replay comes out, we have a new place in our website, glorify.com. If you go to the footer, we have a dedicated section for webinars, and this is the upcoming webinar. Now will be an old webinar, of course. It'll go down to, once it's down in the replay section, there'll be a whole resource section under the replay with chapters and all the information you need, including resources to links and stuff like that, which you can go ahead and collect. So files and the examples I gave over here, for example, all those will be available for you guys to check out. I'll catch up with you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Take care.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.